What's up, YouTube? Tonight I want to make a video discussing how I deal with setbacks. So check this out. Whenever something goes wrong, I don't let it get to me. I've been trained my whole life to treat failure as exactly that, failure. And that's something I usually would get upset about. However, what I learned through the years was that maybe sometimes failure is actually fate. In other words, maybe you need to wait things out a little bit. Sometimes failure can actually be a blessing in disguise. So I'm out here with you, and I wanted to.
You can't see, it's so dark.
I wanted to.
It's so dark.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about what we were talking about the other night, which was that when we have like a frustration or something that essentially like gets in the way of what we wanted to be doing, that sometimes that frustration or that failure turns out to be a blessing in disguise. And you were talking about an example with your job, like when you were doing your externship. What did you say?
I said that I wanted to work at Planned Parenthood, which was up the street. The talking stick. It's like when I went to Planned Parenthood because, you know, every girl we're on birth controls, and then well, it's a clinic, right?
No, you were
it's a
saying
women's
that.
clinic, and they were hiring, and at the moment I was a medical student and I needed to do externship hours for my school, and I had to work at a clinic, like a real life clinic, you know, patients and stuff, and whatever. And so they were trying to hire me. It was up the street. It was very convenient. It was like literally like less than 5 minutes from where we live. And then the girl at my school who
Was referring you, right?
yeah, she's referring me, and she's the one that's trying to get you to school so they can look good, and where you can get a job, you know, doing what you do as for school. And she was like, no, it'd be easier for you to work at blah 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 blah.
And you got
And I
upset.
didn't want to go there because
You wanted to
I
work.
didn't know if they would accept me having a child and like different hours. I couldn't stay full time, whatever. And then they were like, yeah, you can't go to Planned Parenthood, but we'll look into it, but whatever. And then I ended up not going to the Planned Parenthood thing, and then ending up at the clinic, at the Cherry Chase Glendale clinic. And it was so awesome. It was like, I loved it. Like, it was a really great experience for me. And I think it was a good thing I didn't go to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
It just turned out to be a good thing.
And so I had a similar story. When I was working at LAX, I was working with a company called Bagatellos, and after a little over 3 months, I mean, I poured my heart and soul in this job. I was really trying to impress the bosses and stuff, like working like overtime and stuff. It didn't work out. They laid off about 10 people. And I was super like, oh man, that's fucked up. Like, you know, because it was like a start of a new career. Not just in construction, but with the union and the trade. And nobody had given me the pep talk about these kind of things happen until after the fact. So I was super bummed out.
You just go
And I
as you learn how.
Yeah, and I felt like a failure for a little bit. But then it turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because I ended up working with a separate employer who turned out to be a much better employer. And the people there were cool. The job sites were really amazing. I learned a lot faster. So it was sort of accelerated learning. And then what's crazy is when I went to class, like a year later, I ran into some of the guys from that job, and I could tell I was like way ahead of them in terms of like my training. So getting laid off actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise. So I mean, taking it to the extreme, and I'm not trying to suggest like it's gonna be this way for everybody, but I mean, we've all heard of those stories where like somebody misses an airplane flight and then it ends up being like a plane that crashes or something. So they're like running to their no, seriously. These kinds of things have legitimately happened where people like they're supposed to catch a flight, it just doesn't work out and they're really like upset, and then the plane goes down. Taken to that extreme. So that's just something I wanted to talk about. Like sometimes I get frustrated when things don't work out the way I want them to, but then I tell myself, you know what, maybe right now is not the moment. Maybe right now is not the time. And I think it's just a better outlook to have because it gives you a little bit more calm and it gives you a little more patience to deal with life setbacks. That's pretty much the only thing I had to say for tonight. I just wanted to like fill you guys in on one way I deal with life's struggles. But anyways, if I sound a little slurred speech, just because we've been drinking, so.
Cheers.
Cheers. Where's my little seltzer right there? Okay. Cheers. Cheers to beers. All right.
Cheers to beer.
Mm-hmm. Cheers, babe. All right. Cool.